Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On broadcast today, Congresswoman Dina Titus of CD1 here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Pro Group Management offers workers' comp services to a growing number of industries. As businesses grow and change with the times, the need for a solid workers' comp program must be flexible and up-to-date. The evolving nature of regulations can make staying ahead of complex tasks challenging. But Pro Group Management simplifies the work so your industry can move forward and succeed. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
The trucking industry is the most resilient link in the supply chain. And for over 90 years, the Nevada Trucking Association has been the voice for the men and women in the trucking industry. From Carson City to Washington, D.C., we advocate for policies to protect our trucking companies and keep commerce flowing. Because Nevada's and America's prosperity is tied to trucks. There's nothing without trucking.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
A power line is more than a power line. It's maintaining the bottom line for small businesses. It's keeping the assembly line moving for our workforce. For our brightest minds, it's meeting a deadline. It's on the front line with our heroes. And on the sidelines of the biggest games. It's a direct line to our loved ones. And it's a lifeline for the most vulnerable. There's a lot on the line.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we are always delighted to welcome back to the program Congresswoman Dina Titus of CD1. Pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for having me. Always good to see you, Sam.
Let's start out with the passing of Jesse Jackson. That's a momentous thing. Your thoughts?
Well, he's an icon in the civil rights movement and in the Democratic Party. I mean, he changed a lot of things in terms of just the agenda of the party to make it more all-encompassing. His son now serves with me in the House and is a friend. So it's going to be a loss, but certainly something to remember and to mark as having quite an impact.
Let's talk about a change that most of us weren't expecting. I interviewed him a couple of weeks ago and had no clue that Mark Amadei was going to announce that he was stepping down. Your thoughts on that?
Well, it took us all by surprise, too. As I understand it from my chief of staff talking to his, they didn't even know it. He just came in one day and said, here's a letter I'm about to send, and this is it. So I don't think he shared that with too many people. So I'm not sure what his thinking was behind it or what he plans to do. But I hate to see him go. You know, we've been friends since he was in the legislature and I was in the Senate, and we've just kind of stayed friends, kind of friendly enemies, really. We didn't agree on every policy, but I always respected him and thought he cared about Nevada, especially his rural constituents in the north.
Well, you and he shared something in common, which is you've been there long enough to have gained stature. And that's the most important. You know, it always amuses me when people are running for Congress and they talk about all the things they're going to do on day one. And I always have to remind them that what they're going to do on day one is constituent service and find out where the bathrooms are. It takes time. And so that's a big loss if either you or he step down, and he obviously is. That's a big loss for Nevada.
It is, and also he had a leadership position on appropriations, which is a great place to be for helping to negotiate and navigate funds to come back to the state. So that will, who knows who will replace him on that committee. But yeah, I hate to see him go. You know, we also had a friendly rivalry between UNR and UNLV, and we have a little cannon about this big. It actually shoots though, and so I paint it blue when he wins. He paints it red when I win, and we trade it back and forth. I don't know if the new person's going to be up for that or not. And I don't know Nevada Republican politics in the North very well. So a lot of the names that are being mentioned aren't people I've ever heard of. Some are have been around, and the people I know, like Brian Krolicki, Danny Tarkanian, Settlemeyer. But I just hope it's not somebody that's a real MAGA person that we can't find anything to work together on.
Yes, obviously that is the number one conversation among everybody in the political world up here is, who's going to rise to the top here. One name that came out this morning as we are taping this was Teresa Benitez Thompson throwing in her hat in CD2. And what's interesting there is that Greg Kidd, who ran as a nonpartisan last time around and dropped $11 million to lose by about 20 points to Mark Amadei, is now a Democrat. I think he was always a Democrat. But how does money compare to an amazing career that Teresa Benitez Thompson has had?
Well, she was great in the legislature. A lot of people liked her, respected her, and then she kind of retired, I think, to spend more time with her family. But if this opportunity arises, she may take it and get back into politics. It's a hardcore Republican district, so it will be hard. I can't say it's not impossible, and this will be a Democratic sweep year, so she will run a great race, and she's a great candidate. So we'll just have to see what happens. If Kidd stays in as a Democrat, that means you'll have two races, a primary. It's hard to go up against $11 million, but as you pointed out, it's not always just the money that is what is determining factor.
Yes, I think you and I both remember John Connolly and how much money he put in his race for the presidency. Didn't end up with a lot of votes at the end of it.
Well, that's true. That's true.
All right, so let's move on to other things here. We have so much to talk about. First of all, and you alluded to this, is this going to be a reverse of 2014, not just for Nevada, but for the country, where the Democrats take the sweep as against the Republicans?
Well, if you look at all the polling, Democrats are more enthusiastic about voting than Republicans are. Also, Democrats are ahead in the generic polls, like in the congressional poll. If you were to vote today for a Democrat or Republican, which would it be? So that's a good sign. Also, a lot of the midterm elections have gone the way of the Democrats. Look at New Jersey, look at Virginia, some of the state seats, even in Texas. So that's always a harbinger of a good election. On top of that, in the midterms of a presidential election, usually the president's party is the one that comes up short, so that works to our favor. We've been recruiting some great people all around the country. A big challenge for us is getting our message out, talking about affordability, because that's what's on people's minds. Everything you buy at the grocery store, the gas station, or the laundromat has gotten more expensive. So we've got to get that message out, and we've got to bring over all those nonpartisans. Look at Nevada now, Sam. Nonpartisans are the biggest number of voters ahead of Democrats and Republicans. So which way are they going to go is going to be a challenge.
All right, so I got to ask you about that, because to me, in talking to people, and especially the ones that say they're nonpartisan, I talk to them for about 5 minutes and they give away which side they really lean to. So it seems to me that there may be some nonpartisans, but most people are either leaning to the left or leaning to the right, which is the way America has been. I mean, the extremes are about, 10% on either side that get the most noise because they get the most clicks these days. But the reality is most people are in the middle, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. And most people just have the feeling, can't you get something done? And you're right. Some of the nonpartisans have been by default because of the way DMV works. Others just say they've had it with both parties, so I'm not going to register. But in their hearts, their ideology and their positions usually, as you just said, lean one way or the other. But in a campaign, it gives you an extra step and an extra cost to find out which ones are which.
Isn't the biggest danger here for both parties voters staying home?
Well, turnout's always a challenge in Nevada. We have lower turnout than in many parts of the country. So, yes, we got to get people to vote. Now, the Hispanic community is afraid to vote if ICE is going around to the polling places like they've threatened. So, we've got to deal with that issue. And then we've got to be sure that people aren't just so disenchanted by the way things are going that they go, oh, what the hell, I'm staying home. So yeah, that is a challenge. But let me tell you this, I've been going just about every weekend to rallies, but indivisible rallies, no king rallies, anti-fascist rallies, and big crowds are turning out even this far in advance. And it's not just young people with a political hula hoop. These are seniors worried about Social Security and Medicare. These are people worried about housing. This runs the whole gamut of demographics of who's getting energized about making change.
Um, so let's hit a couple of these things. First one is affordability. What can Congress do to change affordability when we have an increase in wages for people across the board? We have an increase in the cost of goods across the board. We have needs. I mean, every local jurisdiction in Nevada is going to be in financial trouble in the next few years, one way or the other. And they're all talking about it at this point. How do you make things more affordable from a government point of view?
Well, the first thing you can do is get rid of those tariffs. Every economist says that the American people are paying those tariffs. It's just a tax on you when you go and buy something. So that's the first thing you can do. Another thing is, a lot of the infrastructure projects that were funded by the bipartisan infrastructure bill under the Biden administration have now been pulled back by Trump. Now, some of those projects were solar power. Look how much solar power Nevada has. That puts people to work, and solar helps bring down the cost of electricity. That's something that you can do. Anything that cuts off jobs is going to be harmful. So, if we any kind of workforce development projects that we do and investing in our communities, that helps to bring down the price. Or you can just look at some of the corporate policies that get all these tax breaks and then raise prices on products. Let's look at gouging, for example.
Okay, a specific example of gouging that concerns you?
Well, we've talked about this before, Sam, like the thinflation of the Oreos, where you can sell the same package of Oreos for the same price, but the Oreos are a lot skinnier with a lot less cream in them. That's some merchandising and marketing that works to the disadvantage of the American consumer. And for Nevada specifically, Sam, besides the solar energy, tourism. Look what they have done to tourism. That hurts our job rating. That hurts our income, which hurts in turn our state revenues. Well, we can't invest in these projects that you mentioned. So the things that they've done in this administration to hurt tourism, like insulting the Canadians and wanting to make Greenland a state, those things also have an impact, especially right here at home.
Okay, so Speaker Mike Johnson has what, a one-vote majority at this point in time? Okay, so if you flip the House, how much can you do? How many votes do you have to be able to make a difference? Because, if there's a veto, you still need 2/3 in both houses.
Well, I don't think they're counting numbers. It's not horseshoes. You don't get close. You got to get one more. But usually, if you look at off-year elections, you find that the sweep is great. I know in 2010, for example, it was like 60 votes. So I think if they're there's a sweep and the Democrats take the majority, it won't be one or two. It'll be a substantial number. Now, will it be two-thirds? Not likely, because you don't have that big of margins much anymore. But we can stop things from moving forward to the Senate.
Okay, but what concerns do you have about gerrymandering? Because there really aren't that many competitive races.
Well, you're right, but don't forget, it was the Republicans who started this gerrymandering in the middle of a census year in Texas, where they went down there and redrew some lines so they could get some more seats. Now, the Democrats have kind of bested them at it. We said, hey, we're not going to take that. If you're going to do it, we're going to do it better. And look what they're doing in Virginia. You see some of it in Illinois. Indiana stood up to Trump and said, no, we're not going to gerrymander these lines. So that will likely be a wash, or maybe just a slight advantage to the Democrats if we keep this up. But, it's more than just redrawing lines. You got to have good candidates. You got to have smart races. You got to get a strong message out there that people identify with. And you got to listen to what the people are telling you, not just go out there and tell them what they need.
You were the subject of gerrymandering within your own party, and you very colorfully objected to it, but you still came out on top. Are you comfortable that this cycle you're going to do well?
I'm never comfortable, Sam. I follow the old theory of Richard Bryan, who says you either run scared or you run unopposed. So we run a tough race every time, no matter what the numbers are, who the opponent is, or what the climate is like.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back more with Congresswoman Dina Titus after this time out.
Welcome to Story County, where history meets innovation, and a pioneering spirit continues to shape our future. At the heart of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, we power the future with global leaders in technology and manufacturing, driving progress that reaches far beyond our county lines. From advanced manufacturing to tech innovation, our industries are creating thousands of quality careers, fueling a vibrant economy that benefits every Nevadan. But it's more than just growth. Our community is our foundation, supporting families, empowering local initiatives, and creating a place where everyone belongs. Be part of a legacy built on bold ideas and boundless possibilities. Join us in building a brighter future right here in Story County. Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
The new year is bringing new ways to win big during the $175,000 Winter Wonderland giveaways at Tamarack Casino. Win up to $5,000 in cash every week and a top prize of $20,000 in cash during the grand finale drawing. Your good times are at Tamarack Casino.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Congresswoman Dina Titus of CD1. Prediction markets. This seems to be a huge issue. There was an article written in the RJ over the weekend that was in defense of these, but it's gambling, isn't it?
Absolutely. I warned the AGA and the industry about this a year ago because we saw it coming. However, it's moved much quicker than we even imagined. Now, people like to bet on which bird flies off the wire, or is Jesus coming back next week, or, is Swifty going to change her hairdo? That's all fine. I don't care about that. I'm not trying to regulate that. But when you're betting on who's going to win the Super Bowl or who gets the first interception, that's sports betting. And we have gone through a lot over the last decade for different states, different tribes to regulate that, put it in place with guardrails, put in place checks on the industry, guarantees for the gamer that they can get the money that they deserve when they cast a bet, and they know that somebody will back them up. So if these markets, these prediction markets, want to do sports betting, fine. Just follow the rules that other regular sports bets have to follow.
Okay, so here's my thought, which is that, for example, in Nevada, we saw a giant battle between the taxi cab industry and Uber and Lyft. And the problem for the taxi cab companies in Nevada was that Uber and Lyft had billions of dollars to spend on lobbyists and attorneys' fees and all the rest. These companies have the same situation. This is not going to be an easy fight.
No, you are absolutely right. And they're popular. Like I said, they have hired 2 former members of Congress as their lobbyists. And don't forget, Kalshi and Polymarket, the 2 biggest ones, have Donald Trump's son on their board. And the person who's been appointed to head up the regulatory body has already said, well, we're going to take another look at this. We don't consider this really gambling. It's all about innovation and offering opportunities. Well, some of it is, but some of it's flat out sports betting.
To say the least. All right, let's take one more break. We'll be right back with Congresswoman Dina Titus after this timeout.
Retail's impact on Nevada's economy? Enormous. 8,600 businesses, large and small, employing 145,000 workers. And last fiscal year, retail paid tax on nearly $60 billion in sales. We're the Retail Association of Nevada. We support retail, we help it grow, and we mean business.
RANNV.org.
You're in trouble with the law. It's easy to think you'll lose everything, but there is hope. I'm Attorney Orrin Johnson. Your first step is to hire a serious attorney with the experience to successfully navigate the legal system for you.
Sometimes hope means addiction treatment instead of jail, and making sure you're treated fairly.
Sometimes hope means fearless trial attorneys who will stand up to the government when they get it wrong. Call or text Orrin Johnson Law.
We'll make a plan.
You'll take back your life.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
Points are flying out the door during the Point Party Palooza giveaways going on now at the Carson Valley Inn. Up to 1 million points given away each drawing night, and over 1 million in points guaranteed during the grand prize point explosion. Get in on the action at the Carson Valley Inn.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Congresswoman Dina Titus of CD1. It would be a good week for the government to get back into 100% operation, but the Congress is out for the week. What are your thoughts on how long this is going to last?
Well, I hope not long, because nobody likes the shutdown. But the senators left and they went to the Olympics and they went to the Munich conference. So I don't know when they're going to get back and get to work, but we should be negotiating. Now, during this time, it's just a partial shutdown. It's just Homeland Security. But the target there is ICE and how to rein them in. FEMA and TSA shouldn't be part of that. So this can be fixed very easily. Just pull those out, fund them, move on, and then deal with some of the guardrails we need to put up against ICE.
Let's talk about water, the Colorado River negotiations. Are you concerned that the federal government is just going to lay down the law and say exactly what's going to happen? And would Nevada be a winner or a loser in that discussion?
I'm very afraid about that. I've been writing letters, been making calls, weighing in now during this public comment period, saying, let the states decide, but they can't decide. It's a big battle between the upper basin and the lower basin. I'm afraid if the federal government steps in, that's never a good thing. And then you are stuck with whatever decision they make, unless you go through lengthy lawsuits that are also expensive. I worry that Nevada will get the short end of the stick, because so much of the water up north is used for not North Nevada, but Northern River, used for irrigation. Arizona's already already got a lot into growing cotton in the desert. California, of course, is a big thirsty monster. So I wish that we could get that negotiated at the state level.
All right, as we have this lightning round going here, Erin Ford running for governor, Alexis Hill running for governor. Your thoughts on that race? Because she's not messing around.
No, I know she's running a tough race. I read some of her comments and she makes some good points. I don't know her, though. I know Aaron very well. I knew him in the legislature. I've endorsed him. I'm supporting him. I think he would make a good governor. The Lombardo's got $11 million in the bank. That's going to be tough, too. But, lightning in a jar.
Let me ask you about a quick question about the Clark County Commission. You've got April Becker on there, and first Republican in many, many years. And now you've got Albert Mack putting in $1 million, $500,000 of his own money. He is, of course, the grandson of Jerry Mack of Thomas and Mack fame. What do you see on the Clark County Commission, the potential for more Republicans to be on there?
Well, I think there's a potential for Republicans to be elected to the county commission, and there's been some surprise about April Becker getting along with the rest of the board. She was kind of a flamethrower before and an election denier and a big MAGA person, but now they seem to be working fairly well from what I hear.
And that's where we have to leave it. Dina Titus, always a pleasure to have you on the program. Thank you so much for doing this. Hope to see you soon.
Thank you, Sam.
Thanks, Sam.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And we'll be right back.
Meet Nevada Health Link, Nevada's official health insurance marketplace. Your link to savings, selection, free assistance, and name brand health insurance, where 90% of enrollees lower the cost of their monthly premium. Everyone deserves access to quality health coverage, no matter your income or family size. Visit NevadaHealthLink.com. A few minutes could save you hundreds of dollars per month.
Nevada Health Link. Our plans are made for your plans.
For 50 years, Nevada Heating has been keeping people comfortable in their homes. At Nevada Heating, call the Do It Right guys and get the heat back on today. Call us today and we'll fix it today. That's the Nevada Heating way. Why freeze for days on end when Nevada Heating can get your furnace fixed today? Call us today and we'll fix it today at 323-5585 or schedule us on our website at nevadaheating.com.
Welcome to the Ahern Boutique Hotel, where luxury and warmth come together in the heart of Las Vegas.
We take pride in offering a one-of-a-kind experience for both locals and tourists.
Join us for handcrafted cocktails and an unforgettable experience.
Joel's Chop House, the perfect place to savor views of the Las Vegas Strip.
Satisfy your cravings at the Ahern Chocolate Shop.
No smoking, no resort fees, and the parking is always free. The Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel is your home away from home.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
Check out our archives section on NevadaNewsmakers.com. Great interviews going back as far as 2002. Really worth watching. We'll see you on the next broadcast.